Hi, this is Theresa at Stony Meadows Alpacas and with Stone Mountain Looms. Our last video, I showed you how to take the shawl off the loom. This is the Mobius tri-shawl. This is unique to Stony Meadows Alpacas and Stone Mountain Looms. This is the piece that we took off and I crocheted up the side. This is one piece off this loom. And this is the piece that it makes, and this loom will be for sale. As you can see, I wood burned notches, and what these are is pattern notches. And every 5 I changed colors, and you can see how that pattern works on this shawl. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting another pattern using the same pattern lines but a different technique when we start off here. And the yarns that we're going to use are these here. I have an assortment of natural browns alpaca and some store-bought yarn. This is an alpaca blend and these are acrylic. And what this is going to do is give me a little bit of integrity to my finished piece, and to keep it the shape that I want it. Because as you know, if you use 100% natural fiber, you're going to have more drape and it's going to hang a little more. And I want it to be able to have this nice drape in the front and not be too low and drapey. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the loom, and before you begin weaving, you're going to make sure you tie your loom always to your easel so it doesn't fall forward. The first yarn I'm going to use is a thick alpaca wool blend, and it's very strong. And the reason why I'm choosing this is because when I start up here, this is actually going to be this part right here, and you want a nice strong yarn right up there because this gets a little pulling with wear, and so you want this to be very strong up there. So I put a ball on the floor. This is how I always work. So I pull my yarn up. What I'm going to do is use a slip knot and place it right over that first nail. And then go down, and as you can see, I placed an X. See that? I wood burned a little X right there. You're going to go around that first X, and then you're going to come up here to the second X, which I also burned right there. So very easy, no counting, it's already been done for you. And then go right down to the corner. Now you're going to go up and go to the left of the very next nail, and then you're going to keep on the left of that string and just place it on that very next nail. And now, under that first nail, or to the left of the string, you're going to go up and around. Now this is where you begin weaving. You're going to go under that first string, place it on the nail, and slide it all down. Now this is the important part. This is where most people get stuck. What happens is you want to weave. This is under, so you want to go over. So under, over, grab, pull through, and now you're going to give a little turn. I don't know if you can see that or not, how I turned that. Turn it that way. Now this is your weaving end. This is your trailing end. Pull your weaving end down over your next nail, and then go up. Again, this is under, so you're going to want to go over that one. So over, or under, over, grab your yarn, pull up, and then turn. Place that on your next nail. Now this you're just going to place on the nail to the one up to the right. We'll do that again so you can see it. I'm pulling it down, placing that on the very next nail, and you can see this is already woven, going right around that next nail. Now again, this is already woven, and if you've done it correctly, your weave should be correct. You're going to put it right over that next nail, and see my weave is correct. I'm under, over, under, over. So now, again, placing right to the next nail, and then back up, going around the next nail, under, over, under, grab, pull through, around the next nail. This is already woven. Pull this down, hold on, insert your hook, under, over, grab, turn. Now if you see here, my turning, what it does here is you can see it creates over, under, over, where if I did not turn that, I'll show you. Grab. Now I didn't turn that yet. You want that to go over that next string. Go up, turn, and see that's where you can see when you turn, you're creating the string to go over, under. Pull through, up, and back down. Now you're just placing the string. So on rectangular weaving, continuous strand, what you're doing is you're weaving from left to right, and then from right to left, all you're doing is placing the string. Now I'm going to begin weaving again. Under, over, under. And you can see I'm coming to my first notch, and then right there we're going to change colors. And I want to show you a color change before we end this video. Now what I'm doing with those balls of yarn, the store-bought balls of yarn, is at every one of my notches I'm going to put one strand of that color on those notches. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm tightening up my lines, keeping everything nice and straight, and it makes it a whole lot easier as you fill this up. Oop. There we go. Okay, one more, and then I'm going to do a color change. And again, I'm just placing now. I'm all done weaving. All the weaving is done for me. I'm just pulling it up and placing it on the nail. Now here is where I'm going to do a new color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this thread, and I'm going to cut it so that way it leaves it long enough for fringe. And more is always better. So that's plenty enough, so I'm going to cut it right there. Taking that color out. And look at this one because it's really, really pretty. Why not? Throw it in my bowl. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to weave the new color in. Under, over, under, over. So it's the opposite of what that last string was. Bringing that up. Now I weave it in because it helps with my tension, because I like to keep my tension nice and tight. Now here is the string that we cut hanging down here. Now you can see this string, you have to make sure that you're still over, under, and as you can see, when I pulled it up, it went over the new string, and that's wrong. You want to go under that one. Do the opposite of what that last string was. So now it's correct, under, over, under. I'm going to bring it up here, and I'm going to tie my knot on the left of the nail, making sure that my tension on my first string is nice and tight. Tie that right on. Now you can begin weaving just as the same as before. I'm going to weave opposite of what the last line was. So I'm going to go under, over, catch it. There's my turn. Going over this way. Now I'm going to get a little farther and we'll catch up on the next video for this. And what I'm going to do with this pattern is I'm going to do natural color alpaca, just random, whatever I feel like doing in my brown tones, and then every time I get to one of these dots or lines, I'm going to use a different color. And it won't matter, any color. And then when I get to here, this will be my middle. And to create a pattern, whatever I've done on this side, I'm going to repeat from here down. So that way there's an actual pattern. So I'm going to go totally random all the way down to here, but when I get to this point, I'm going to repeat, and I will show how we're doing that on the next video. Thank you so much, and if you have any questions, just give me a jingle. Thanks.